The distress beacon cut through the void like a scream in the darkness. Mia's fingers trembled as she initiated the emergency broadcast from the cargo hauler Meridian's Hope. Her voice barely steady as she spoke the words every spacer dreaded. "This is commercial vessel Meridian's Hope. We are under attack by Crithian raiders. Requesting immediate assistance. Coordinates attached. We have civilians aboard." Beside her in the cramped cockpit, Leo worked frantically at the damaged navigation console, his face illuminated by the red emergency lighting. "Shields at 12%, he reported, his jaw clenched. "Another hit like that and we're done." The Meridian's Hope shuddered violently as another plasma bolt struck their starboard side. Through the viewport, Mia could see the 3 Crithian warships circling like vultures, their sleek black hulls adorned with the skull markings that had terrorized this sector for generations. Behind her in the cargo hold, she could hear the frightened cries of the 73 colonists they were transporting to New Geneva. Families, children, people who had trusted them to deliver them safely to their new home. "How long until help arrives?" Mia asked, though she already knew the answer would crush her hope. Leo's silence spoke volumes before he finally answered. "Nearest coalition patrol is 4 hours out. We have maybe 20 minutes before they breach the hull." Mia closed her eyes. 4 hours. They would all be dead or worse in 4 hours. The Crithians didn't take prisoners for ransom. They took them for sport. She'd heard the stories, seen the aftermath on stations they'd raided. Her hand moved to the small plasma pistol at her hip. If it came to it, she'd make sure the colonists didn't suffer. Then the communications console erupted with a response that made both of them freeze. "Meridian's Hope, this is HDFS Retribution. We have received your distress call. Hold your position. Help is 3 minutes out." Leo's head snapped up, his eyes wide. "That's impossible. There's nothing on scanners within." The space before them simply tore. Reality itself seemed to split apart as a massive wormhole terminus opened, and through it came a sight that made Mia's breath catch in her throat. The Retribution emerged like an ancient god of war awakening from slumber. The dreadnought was nearly 3 kilometers long, its hull a patchwork of battle scars and reinforced armor plating that spoke of 1,000 conflicts. But it wasn't alone. Behind it came the rest of the 3rd Expeditionary Fleet, 12 heavy cruisers, 20 destroyers, and a swarm of fighter craft that spilled from their hangar bays like angry hornets. This was humanity's ghost fleet, the armada that had earned its fearsome reputation in the siege of Proxima, the fleet commanded by the legendary Admiral Chen, the woman they called the Reaper of the Outer Rim. The Crithian raiders hesitated. Mia could almost sense their confusion through the void. They'd been expecting a cargo hauler and helpless civilians. Instead, they'd summoned the one fleet in known space that made even the most hardened pirates reconsider their life choices. "Crithian vessels," a cold, feminine voice cut through all frequencies. "You are in violation of the Galactic Protection Treaty, Article 7. Subsection 12. Assault on civilian vessels in neutral space. You have 10 seconds to power down your weapons and prepare to be boarded. Failure to comply will result in your immediate destruction." The Crithian commander's response was predictable. They opened fire on the nearest human destroyer. It was the last mistake they ever made. The Ghost Fleet's response was devastating and precise. The Retribution's main railgun fired once. A single tungsten rod accelerated to a fraction of light speed. The lead Crithian warship simply ceased to exist, vaporized in a flash of plasma and debris. The other 2 raiders attempted to flee, but the human fighters were already on them, their missiles finding gaps in shields with surgical accuracy. Within 90 seconds, it was over. Leo stared at the debris field in stunned silence. Mia realized she'd been holding her breath and slowly released it. The Ghost Fleet maintained formation around the Meridian's Hope, a protective wall of firepower that could glass a planet if necessary. "Meridian's Hope, this is Admiral Chen. Are there any casualties aboard your vessel?" Mia fumbled for the comm switch, her voice shaky with relief. No, Admiral. Minor damage to our systems, but everyone's safe. All 75 of us." There was a pause, and when Admiral Chen spoke again, Mia could hear the smallest trace of warmth beneath the military precision. "Understood, Captain. We are dispatching a repair crew and medical team. You'll be escorted to New Geneva under our protection." "Admiral," Leo interjected, finding his voice, "with respect, why is the 3rd Expeditionary Fleet here? We're just a cargo hauler in the middle of nowhere." Another pause. Then, Young man, there's something you need to understand about humanity. We put a human on every ship that travels the void, not just for navigation or cargo management, but so that wherever humans go, they go together. When you sent that SOS, you didn't just call for help. You called for family. Admiral Chen's voice took on a harder edge. And when someone threatens our family, they call down the whole damn fleet. Chen out. As repair skiffs launched from the Retribution toward their damaged hauler, Mia looked at Leo and saw her own wonder reflected in his eyes. Around them, the Ghost Fleet maintained its vigil, guns still hot, ready to face down anything that might threaten the small cargo vessel and its precious human cargo. In the cargo hold, the colonists were cheering, crying with relief. They'd sent out a desperate call into the darkness, expecting nothing but silence. Instead, they'd learned a truth that made humanity both beloved and feared across the galaxy. Humans protect their own, no matter the cost, no matter the distance. And somewhere in the void, raiders and pirates were updating their databases, marking this sector with a new warning. Humans present. Avoid at all costs. The SOS had summoned the fleet, and the galaxy was reminded once again why you never ever threatened a human in distress.